Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One. May the Spirit be upon you so that you can decipher, have discernment, and study yourself approved in what's being said in the Scriptures. There's a lot of hidden texts that people don't understand. But before we jump into chapter 11 of 2 Kings, I wanted to touch base real quick on this short here, which is a complete, it's a complete truth bomb that's right in front of your face. These people know exactly what it is that we live in. They understand that it is a matrix, and they are telling you themselves that they're trying, or they are, reprogramming the matrix. And we all know that a matrix in the Bible means the womb. Now, exactly, I don't understand the concept of living inside of a womb, but that is the definition of the matrix. Also, I've said many times and showed you many times that the woman's womb is the portal to this plane of existence. Okay? You could even call it, well, most people say it's pink, but it is a black hole that a child is born out of. So let's take a listen to what's being said here.
That's the big threat that this administration poses. That's a big threat that was essentially Doge has found the coffin where the vampire sleeps.
Yeah.
Found the vampire where the coffin sleeps. And look at how serious his face is right here. Who's the vampire? It's their God, Jesus Christ. He's the vampire because he died on the cross and gave up a ghost. And one of the synonyms for a ghost is a vampire.
There's a lot of vampires.
Yeah, I mean, but the US...
we're disturbed.
A lot of vampires. It's a hive. There's billions of these demons on this plane of existence, okay? When I say a demon, folks, I mean something that is not human that possesses the flesh suit. You can tell that Rogan's possessed here. You can just look in his eyes and see that he's possessed.
We're disturbing
the nest.
The nest, yeah.
Yeah.
The nest, because I keep telling everybody it's a hive that we live in. They're showing you in all the movies, everything. This plane of existence is a hive. It's a trap. It's like a web. That's why it's called the World Wide Web. That's why when they do a picture of the globe, that it's set on, what's the word I'm looking for? Ley lines. That's what it is I was looking for. And there's a circular thing. It looks like a web.
Yeah.
We're kicking the hornet's nest.
Yeah.
It's like big time. And I mean, we're reprogramming the matrix.
Wow. We're reprogramming the matrix. So either these guys are a bunch of liars and they're telling you that they're able to reprogram something that the Supreme Creator has done. Because the bottom line is these people here, they want to wage war against the Supreme Creator. They don't want there to be a day of judgment. People say that sin no longer exists because Jesus paid the price by shedding his blood, which is a human sacrifice. So the Supreme Creator, in this particular case, God of Israel, Yahweh, or whoever, I don't even know that Yahweh is the Supreme Creator. I just plainly prefer to call the Creator the Most High, Supreme, the authority, the one with no beginning and one end. Anything that's in a flesh suit has a beginning. Anything that is a prophet or placed itself in a power position over has been corrupted, because power corrupts absolutely. 2/3 of God's children are going to fry from lack of knowledge because they worship graven images. So they've kicked the hornet's nest and they're trying to reprogram the matrix.
Success was never one of the possible outcomes. There's a Kobayashi Maru situation. If you're in the matrix, success was never possible. The only way to achieve success is to reprogram the matrix such that success is one of the possible outcomes. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that not craziness?
We may or may not succeed.
Well, it's certainly a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Certainly a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, these guys are going to burn. They're all going to fry. Okay, we're here at 2 Kings chapter 11. We're going to jump in Athaliah and Joash. When Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, saw that her son was dead, she proceeded to destroy the whole royal family. But Jehosheba, the daughter of King Jehoram and sister of Ahaziah, took Joash, son of Ahaziah, and stole him away from among the royal princes who were about to be murdered. She put him and his nurse in a bedroom to hide him from Athaliah, so he was not killed. He remained hidden with his nurse at the temple of the Lord for 6 years while Athaliah ruled the land. In the 7th year, Jehoiada sent for the commanders of units of 100, the Kerites and the guards, had them brought to him at the temple of the Lord. He made a covenant with them and put them under oath at the temple of the Lord. Then he showed them the king's son. He commanded them, saying, "This is what you are to do. You who are in the 3 companies that are going on duty on the Sabbath, a third," give me a second here, "at the Sur gate, and a third at the gate behind the guard, who take turns guarding the temple. And you who are in the other 2 companies that normally go off Sabbath duty are all to guard the temple for the king. Station yourselves around the king, each of you with weapons in hand. Anyone who approaches your ranks is to be put to death. Stay close to the king wherever he goes." The commanders of the unit of 100 did just as Jehoiada, the priest, ordered. Each one took his men, those who were going on duty on the Sabbath and those who were going off duty, and came to Jehoiada, the priest. Then he gave the commanders the spear and shields that had belonged to King David and that they were in the temple of the Lord. The guards, each with weapons in hand, stationed themselves around the king, near the altar and the temple, from the south side to the north side of the temple. Jehoiada brought out the king's son and put the crown on him. He presented him with a copy of the covenant and proclaimed him king. They anointed him, and the people clapped their hands and shouted, "Long live the king." When Athaliah heard the noise made by the guards and the people, she went to the people at the temple of the Lord. She looked, and there was the king, standing by the pillar, as the custom was. The officer and the trumpeters were beside the king, and all the people of the land were rejoicing and blowing trumpets. Then Athaliah tore her robe and called out, "Treason! Treason!" Jehoiada, the priest, ordered the commanders of the unit of 100, who were in charge of the troops, "Bring her out between the ranks, and put to the sword anyone who follows her." For the priest had said, "She must not be put to death in the temple of the Lord." So they seized her as she reached the place where the horses entered the palace grounds, and there she was put to death. Jehoiada then made a covenant between the Lord and the king and the people that would be the Lord's people. He also made a covenant between the king and the people. All the people of the land went to the temple of Baal and tore it down. They smashed the altars and idols to pieces and killed Mattan, the priest of Baal, in front of the altar. Then Jehoiada, the priest, posted guards at the temple of the Lord. He took with him the commanders of 100, the Kerites, the guards, and all the people of the land, and together they brought the king down from the temple of the Lord and went into the palace, entering by the way of the gate of the guard. The king then took his place on the royal throne. All the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was calm, because Athaliah had been slain with the sword at the palace. Joash was 7 years old when he began to reign. Wow, could you imagine a 7-year-old reigning over you? That's I don't know, man. Kid that age doesn't know anything. Sure, I'm happy, but this is what the kicker is. You got to understand that kings aren't really the ones that are in charge, folks. There's always something in the background that's telling a king what to do. As this book tells us, it's the Lord, thy God, God of Israel. So I hope everybody has a blessed day. This is White Raptor News Ministries.